Hello there, games done slightly faster than average. I am Turtle, and this is Pit People. And I'm just gonna do this in one take, because, like, you know, in the actual marathon, that's how you do it. So, this is Pit People. Pit People is a turn-based tactics game that is a lot more turn-based and a lot less tactical, because everything in it is RNG. Not everything. There are definitely a lot of ways and strategies that I'll be using to manipulate the RNG to my favor. Boy, there is a lot of RNG, and that makes this game really fun, really interesting to play every time, at least in my opinion. So, time doesn't start yet, but you do have to show this in world record videos, and it gives me a chance to talk. We are going to skip the intro, because... much better. Because skipping the intro is fast, because we get to skip the intro. There are also some other settings that we're going to set, including the most important setting of all, that is the fastest, subtitles on. And this does need to be done between each run. Just deleting your file resets the settings for some reason. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't take too long. I just go in and change this to this, and this to this, and streamer settings. I will shout out, listen to, what's the song name? I Wash My Hands by Cormac. That's the song that gets cut, as far as I know, from the main hub area, and it's a really good song, but it's not in the run, so gotta give shout outs to that. Anyway, the run, now that we have all of our settings set up, does start in 3, 2, 1, go. And since we skipped the intro, we just start right in the town, and we have pretty much all of our main characters in the party already. Okay, we got a cupcake as our extra. That is not typically great, but it's fine enough. Okay, that's good. Yep. So, to start out, we have... bye, please. Bye, please. I am slow on the clicks today. Okay. So, I'll explain our fighters in just a sec, and we can take a better look at them. But here is one of the most important parts of the speed game, and it is map movement. There are 5 different maps, and you can be placed randomly on any one of them in a couple of random positions. So I don't like this position because these trees are absolutely in the way. And I'm going to try to find a good spot using nitro. Typically a plane. Actually, that's a lot of money right there. Yeah, there's a decent... Okay, there we go. That's not the greatest first map movement, but yeah, the map movement is one thing that you can pretty much entirely control as long as we ignore the fact that there's a random spawn location and random movement. But yeah, I just said we're ignoring those, so those don't exist. Map movement is something you can largely control. You can memorize the layouts of the worlds, and in doing so, you can manage to save quite a bit of time just going to the locations of the maps faster. And we'll be seeing more map movement throughout the run. You do have to do it between every single chapter, and it's not annoying at all, and I promise it gets better eventually, maybe. But, now, we have our first map. This map is pretty slow and easy, makes it a great time to explain things. So I'll introduce our characters. This is Horatio. Horatio is kind of the main character of this game. He is the one who is the first character you will control in the intro, which we skipped. And he is trying to get his son back from the giant space bear that kidnapped his son. Don't question the plot. The plot is perfect, and there's nothing wrong with it. We make him our hero unit. That's why you see some crowns floating around him. That gives him extra move speed and extra damage. And we also give him I believe they're called mallets, but I'm going to call them helmet smashers. They do bonus damage against helmet units. Like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. There are a lot of helmets. So we like our helmet smashers. And so we give Horatio one that we're automatically going to get no matter what, which is this lollipop. Some files, because when you generate the file skipping the intro, you'll get some random goodies. So sometimes you can get a better hammer, or a better helmet smasher, a better mallet, but you are guaranteed at least this one, and that's all we really need. Because our next character, Pipistrella, I just call her Pippi, she also has a helmet smasher, comes equipped from default. This is her story mission, basically. We are trying to save her. We're trying to avenge her father, because this big guy up here, Helmetor, he killed her dad in the intro that we skipped. And so that's her quest. She's going to get this mission completed, and then she doesn't really factor into the story all that much, except for that she pops up here and there. But again, we don't entirely care about her. No offense, Pippi, but you don't exactly matter in terms of the plot. Next up is Yosef. Yosef is this very, very chill dude here. He actually matters a lot in the plot, and the plot will be explained very poorly very soon. So keep your ears peeled for whenever I start spouting out a bunch of random words that don't make sense, because that will be my plot summary. And I hope you will enjoy it, because it will be nonsensical. After that, we have Sophia. Sophia is the one wearing the Hattie Haddington mask, because we take off her helmet because helmets are bad. She has a very, very specific purpose in this speedrun, and that is the net that she carries. We'll be using that to kidnap 2 different people throughout the run, because kidnap is absolutely not the right word for it. It's probably like befriend or something, but it's kidnap. We kidnap them. That is how the game goes. So, including this map, so we do need to keep her alive. If she's dead, she can't kidnap people. So that is bad. And then Gluten, and then our Rando. The Rando can be a human or a cupcake. It honestly doesn't matter all that much, as you'll see after this map. But if they're a cupcake, we just kind of leave them to die because they're a cupcake and therefore they don't matter as much. So, hooray. They can debate all of these enemies, and that is what we want them to do. Because this map, the mission is to punch this guy, Helmetor. We need to just punch him really hard. And of course, I mentioned he has a helmet, and we have a couple different helmet smashers. So we're going to want to use Horatio and Pippi to attack him as much as possible. And if you're placed next to 2 enemies, for example, Horatio here is placed next to 2 different enemies. He has a 50% chance to attack either of them. And for example, being placed next to 3 enemies as a melee character, you have a 33% chance to attack any of them. And that is where a lot of the RNG comes in. Okay, he's in a really good spot actually, because right here, here, and here, all 3 of these spaces are guaranteed Helmetor hits. Okay, one of the cupcakes died. Good. So we should be able to end it here, and I guess we're going to have another cupcake. That's handy. So yeah, you see I moved my units specifically so that they would target Helmetor, and that's where a lot of the RNG manipulation comes in. You need to be very, very careful about where you place your units so that you are attacking specific targets. And okay, the cupcake survived. That doesn't usually happen. Usually they get sacrificed to the Elder Gods, but I guess that means we have a good start, and I can use it to heal up Sophia, who, again, I mentioned needs to survive, because we need to kidnap someone. And so, the cupcake even got a level up. Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing to explain too. No. Okay, there we go. Leveling up. It happens after you get enough EXP, which you'll see me get from kills, and you get a little bit from just attacking people too. Leveling up fully heals a unit, and it is really, 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 really good. So, every time a unit levels up, not every time, I'll be happy if they level up sometime when it's convenient to me. I will be actually a little bit not happy if they level up in just like a random part of the game. Because you can have wasted level ups where they're at full health and then they just level up again. Okay, yeah, I triggered the dialogue, sad. I'm trying to move Horatio over there to get the archer moving. If an archer AI has an enemy next to it, it will guaranteedly move. And that is good. We want the archers to move on the enemy side. So, cupcake and away, go. So, you'll notice that this map has really few enemies, and that's luck. Aside from that first map and a couple others, which I'll point out later, the number of enemies that spawn in any given map is Random! Woo! So, yeah, you can just get completely RNG screwed and have a boatload of enemies. I believe that the most I've seen in solo and non-co-op is 4 enemies on this map. Well, you have 3 up here, 1 down here, and then Helmetor. Helmetor doesn't count. For reasons you'll see soon. So I'm only counting these 2 humans as enemies that showed up. So only getting 2 of them is really, really good luck. And I'm going to actually have her stand a little close. You attack that, you spare him, you tick, go. So, Nancy and Surprise are the only 2 enemies that actually matter in this map. We just kind of ignore Helmetor. I mean, he's an absolute lad. Like, look at all that damage. He has knockback, which slows our units. It's actually really annoying a lot of the time, but we will be making use of his skills. Hopefully right now, if I can manage to defeat Surprise this turn. No, okay, I didn't. So next turn, because Surprise is very low and just getting clobbered to death, which is good. We want him, her, I don't know the gender. Gender doesn't matter. It is going to get clobbered to death, and that is good. We want it to get clobbered to death. Go, 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 go. And so once we do this, when there's only 1 enemy left on the map, you can kidnap it. If you have a cage and a net unit, and we have a cage and a net unit, because we specifically wanted those things so we can kidnap Helmetor. And there's a cutscene here that I need to remember to hold my mouse to skip, and I didn't, and there we go. That is the first quest of the game. Ta-da! So, we got Helmetor. Helmetor is a Cyclops. Cyclopses are absolutely humongous lads, and they hit like trucks, and they tank like trucks. And they're really, really, really good. And since we get one basically for free, and we can guarantee that he'll show up, we are going to have a Helmetor in our party from here on. And now, I mentioned this earlier, it is time to explain the plot. So, we need to go up into space to fight the Spacefarer to save, it's usually up this way, okay, yeah, to save Horatio's son Hansel, who was kidnapped by the Spacefarer. And in order to get up into space, we obviously need a spaceship. Ooh, I don't like this map. There's a big bay that's covering most of the side of the map. But we just saw a spaceship. In fact, Helmetor had one. And in the cutscene that we skipped, the bear kind of just slams the spaceship out of the sky, and it gets kind of wrecked. Hi, get out of the way, Cupcake. And so, since we wrecked the spaceship, we kind of can't use it. And since we kind of can't use it, we need another one. So in order to find another spaceship, we are going to need Yosef's other eye. Yosef is a demi-cyclops, and his other eye is lost. So in order to get his other eye, in order to get a spaceship, we need to find his other eye. In order to find his eye, in order to get his eye, in order to find a spaceship, we need to find Yosef's friend who knows where his eye is. In order to find Yosef's friend who knows where his eye is, so we can get his eye, so we can get a spaceship, so we can go to the Spacefarer, we need to go to the Bloodbath Lagoon where Yosef's friend is. In order to go to the Bloodbath Lagoon, in order to find Yosef's friend who knows where his eye is, to get his eye, to go find a spaceship, to go to space, to save Horatio's son, we need to get a ticket to go to the Bloodbath Lagoon. And in order to get a ticket to go to the Bloodbath Lagoon, to find Yosef's friend, to find Yosef's eye, to find a spaceship, to find Horatio's son who's been kidnapped by a giant Spacefarer, we have to get a ticket from this guy whose name is Jerkimedes. And he, right now, will only give us the ticket if we murder a bunch of cupcakes that live in this retirement home. Actually, I haven't been doing that, have I? I was a little bit busy talking, and he's been giving us a countdown this entire time, but I'm sure I can probably, if I stop talking, I can probably go get them. But, actually, I'm kind of low on time. Shoot, I keep holding space because I'm too busy talking. I really need to stop, and this joke has been done at every GDQ, and if you don't know the joke, I'm so sorry that I had to do this to you. But, yeah, this mission is the only mission, the only story mission in the entire game that has a single map, and it's also the only story mission in the game that you can fail. And so we're just going to fail it, because that is 7 cupcakes. We have 5 units. Cupcakes will self-heal when they're low. They will run around and scramble like that. And so instead of doing any of the mission, we just skip it. And all of a sudden, Jerkimedes still gives us the ticket. and that is a ticket. We need to go to the Bloodbath Lagoon to get Yosef's friend, to get Yosef's eye, to find the spaceship, to go to space, to save Horatio's son from the giant space bear that kidnapped him. God, this game is fun. So yeah, that's more or less the entire plot for the rest of the game. Is we're just going to follow that ridiculous chain of events backwards. I juked you. Good. Get you, sucker. And after those two kind of introductory missions, we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of this run, where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Because that first map was a lot less RNG. It's only really whether the kobolds will chase you and how many enemies spawn in the spaceship part. That second map is basically no RNG at all. You can have as few as 4 and as many as 7 cupcakes, actually. But, ooh, okay, I know there's a C in the way, but I do want this money. Money is important because it lets you buy nitro, and nitro is good. So I'm going to use one once I get to this flat plane. But, no, this is an island. Okay, yeah, this map has a really obnoxious ocean right here that it's just obnoxious and I don't like it. So we're going to avoid it as best we can. Money, 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 money. Oh, biscuits, okay. So running over enemies with nitro instantly destroys them. If you don't have nitro, you get into a battle with them. And that's what I just accidentally did because I thought my nitro was still on, but it wasn't. Luckily, this isn't a waste of time at all. Well, I mean, it's a waste of time, but I can just do this, and as soon as the enemies stop their movement, come on, stop your movement. There we go, the battle's over. It does drop some of your equipment, and okay, I'll need to pick that up on the way back, because that is the kidnap cage especially. That's absolutely not what it's called, but the kidnap cage is important. The nitro's also valuable, so gonna want to pick that up. As soon as I can, basically. Okay, so this map, chapter 3 of the story, if we don't count the intro, which I don't, because I skipped it, is Clash at Bloodbath Lagoon. This is, like I said, the start of Giga RNG. So, how many enemies spawn extra, which is only 1, it's just that archer guy. That can be 0 or up to 3. Where the enemy cannons will attack on your ship is random. Where your cannons will attack on the enemy ship is random. You can't stand in the middle of a cannon because it will knock you back. It will also knock the enemies back. And that is a really, really good cannon because we want to kill her because she is the main objective of this mission. I just need someone to be able to reach that. There we go. But if I stood on either of these, I wouldn't be able to access the cannon because I'd be knocked back by the enemy cannon. Just like Leviatha right now can't access this cannon because I knocked her back with my own. But all the cannon positions are random, so it really doesn't matter, and it's just kind of chaos. So there we didn't knock anyone back, which is bad. And so we're going to play where it lies. Squidward, I want to do murder, go. And again, we at least got a second cannon because the randomness put these two in dumb positions. And we just hope to stand on as many cannons as possible in this first section. We hope to knock the enemies off their cannons like that top one did right there. And more than anything, we hope to hit Captain Leviathan. Okay, good. They are being very, very dumb with their cannons, and I very much enjoy that. So we got all 3 cannons off, hopefully hit Leviathan again. And yeah, it's just a lot of RNG. Oh, there's more RNG as well in these enemies that are getting launched to your ship. They can knock you back. It's like a 10% chance, I believe. We don't want to see that. But hey, we got 2 jukes. That is god tier RNG. And next turn should be when the masts fall, or I will get nuked twice because RNG. Welcome to this game. I love it. I complain about it, but I love it. And I suppose this would be probably a decent time for donations. Cupcake map 2 if we don't want to do the whole really convoluted and long explanation of the story, because this story is convoluted and long and needs the explanation if it It still doesn't make sense, honestly, but you know, what counts is that we tried. Okay. Anyways, the goal of this map is to recruit a fighter. Okay. Those, I love the crowd. Anyways, those side missions are daily quests, and they are random, but they give us money if we complete them. They also waste time when we complete them, so it is a mixed bag. But it's a completely random bag, and so who cares? We just deal with it as the RNG decides. Otherwise, this map is progressing pretty well at this point. Let's go forward. The goal is to defeat Captain Leviatha, and so we're going to defeat Captain Leviatha. And in order to do that, we just unga-bunga everyone at her. There's a little bit more strategy to that. That specifically want to block her from going back, because Helmetor and Cyclopses are really slow. They can only move 2 tiles. So we send Sophia and Horatio back as far as possible, so that they can kind of corral her, hopefully towards us a little bit better. And yeah, I put Yosef right there specifically because Yosef has a weapon that can stun enemies, and Leviatha got stunned, which means she cannot move, she cannot attack, and therefore Helmetor can reach her next turn. And with these 3 surrounding her from the back, it is likely to be the end of this section of the map right here. Let's go. We hit her once, we hit her twice, there it is, okay. And of course, every map aside from the Cupcake map in the main story has at least 2, or every chapter in the main story has at least 2 maps or sub-maps to it. And so after the audience chance to chog some more, we will be moving on to, if you remember the story detail that I gave earlier, to find Yosef's friend. And hey, look! Chog! Chog is not Yosef's friend. We will see Yosef's friend in like 1 turn. But yeah, this is why we're here. We're here to punch Chog in his big, beautiful mouth and find a friend. And our friend will not be an Octoclops. This enemy that just spawned in towards the bottom of the map, these are one of the worst enemy types in the entire game. They can turn your allies into enemy units, which 1 means that your allies might attack them, which is bad. You don't want to attack your own friends. And 2, it makes them lose a turn. Okay, we didn't get that this time. Thank God. It's bad. So if Helmetor loses a bunch of turns, it's just so much wasted potential because he hits like an absolute truck. We just got 2 tentacles in 1 turn. That is legitimately really, really, really good RNG. So we are going to move forward with the map. Helmetor, who, if you didn't notice, one-shots those Octoclopses, he will be staying back in order to beat the ever-loving crap out of them so they don't touch our humans at all. And meanwhile, our humans are just going to be unga-bungaing straight towards the objective, which is beating the tentacles, then beating open Chog's face, and then beating up Uvulor. A lot of the objectives in this game involve beating people up, which is kind of understandable because the mechanics of this game are beating people up. And so, 2 of them, that is a lot of odds. Oh god, we got lucky. Yes! So Helmetor can still, do things and attack, and it's very good. And that is what we want to see happen. Every single turn. Is that him not to get corrupted into a red unit. So yeah, that is the general strategy for this map. You might have seen me tanking some of the mortars in previous maps, and I talked about them a little in the first part. These ones won't knock you back, but they do deal quite a bit of damage. And from here on out, every mortar in the game deals enough damage to be considered annoying, and I will be avoiding pretty much all mortars unless there is something like really, really important that I need to do that involves me walking through a mortar. Or if I know I'm about to level up, which I'm pretty bad at looking at the EXP bar. You can see the EXP bar for any unit when you are controlling them and selecting their position. But 1, this is a speedrun. I'm trying to select positions fast. And 2, this is a speedrun. I'm trying to select positions fast. so I don't really look at my units very much, almost at all, while I am moving them. And that leads me to just not see the EXP bars. And so I don't really know when they're going to level up. Sometimes it's just a pleasant surprise. And again, leveling up is a full heal, very useful for someone like Sophia right now, who's on the verge of death, or Pippi, who's on the verge of death. A lot of units on the verge of death. That's pretty typical for this battle, just because we don't need anyone to survive it. We just kind of Unga Bunga forwards, and Unga Bunga is a strategy that tends to lead to taking a lot of damage. But this is honestly going pretty well so far. You can only get 2 enemies spawned in that middle wave. You can also only get 2 enemies spawned in the last wave. The Octoclops don't count, those will just constantly spawn 2. We got 3 here, and we can get up to 4 in the next wave chunk. I don't know what else to call it but a wave chunk. But hey, we are moving up rather quickly. This guy, I hope he doesn't kill Sophia. That would be bad, because I like her. She has 4 movement, like I mentioned before, and movement is very, very important, because, hey, we want to go fast, and running 4 tiles across the map is better than running 2. So only spawn 2 units. That is 3 units, okay. Oh boy, and here we get our first introduction to a race of enemies called Pixies. We will hopefully be talking about Pixies a lot later on. He just killed his friend. And I'm actually very much okay with that. Good job, Pixie. You have done me a service, buddy. Humans go forward. Cyclops Helmetor is just going to hold him back. Hopefully one-shot this Pixie. Yeah, Pixies are ranged sometimes to use a Pokemon term. By the way, damage is RNG! Woo! And we'll talk about Pixies a little more later, but they are even more RNG than everything else, basically. And so yeah, they're very fun, and I really hope we'll be talking about them. You can get bad RNG and not talk about them, but that's 1, pretty rare, and 2, pretty rare. I don't know. I don't know what I was going with the 1 for that, but hey, whatever. So, oh my god, I'm so surprised Sophia's alive. She very much looks like she should be dead by now. We need to focus on this turn. It is rather important to deal as much damage to Chog as possible. If you hit him with any instance of damage, he will retreat on the next turn. And so we want to pile on as much damage as we can in a single turn. And that was decent. He got maybe a quarter to a third of his health. The Pixie's also dead, which is great, and more Octoclops have spawned, which is not great. And that is the first time that happened, which is really surprising. Usually that happens, like, basically every single turn, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. But, hey, it only happened, like, most of the way through this chapter, somehow. So that's nice. These 2 might kill Pippi or Sophie, and both of those are not good options. Maybe they'll get knocked back. Okay, one of them got knocked out, and, okay. Someone. Oh, Sophie's dead. 07 Sophia. We do turn Permadeath off. Oh, I don't like this position. I don't like this position. Not at all. I'm just going to sacrifice my units because we are getting really decently close. Oh, he didn't blast himself. Yep, that's awful. He can damage himself. It's really kind of rare just because the way those blasts work. Yeah, okay. Now we're getting into a little bit of this might be stuffed territory. So I'm actually going to play a little safe and try to do some murder. Maybe hopefully get 2 level ups! 3 level ups! Woo, baby! This is a game. We're in it. We are in it to win it. In fact, we can probably... Ooh, okay, he got knocked really far back. We're going to want to be a little bit safe. And not damage him at all this turn, but set up instead. That's what I'm going to do. Yosef, you actually moves here. Ocean moves here. Helmetor won't be able to make it close enough, but I believe if these 3 all attack Uvulor, we should be able to finish it. There's a potential to... So let's see what happens. He doesn't need to have his health fully drained. Dang it. Okay, we were close. You'll know he makes a very distinctive noise. I will probably also make this noise. It is very distinctive. Very fun. I enjoy this game quite a bit. We just need to basically hit him one more time with anyone and it'll be over. So, yeah, that's the rest of his map. Maybe a little time for a little bit of nations here. If you can't tell, I am talking a lot. Sorry about that, but there's a lot to explain with this game, and it all happens kind of randomly and quickly, but... God, I love Uvulor. That is one of the best sound effects in this entire game. He makes it twice, I make it once. And that is the end of Chapter 3. Or at least it will be once I get back to the base, because you need to backtrack. And something else to mention is that the base can move. So like I mentioned, there are 5 maps. You can spawn on a random point on a random map. I need this cage. I picked up a nitro. I need the cage, please. There we go. So yeah, picking up the cage is really what was super important there. That other nitro we're not going to get. It doesn't matter anymore. Bye. But from here, we're just going to go back home. And between missions 3, 4, 5, and 6, there is a random chance for the bear to pick up your city and move it. We did not get it this time. Okay. For the next 2 missions, we really want to be as close to the northwest as possible, because these 2 missions have the same spawn point, and it is in the northwest, every single map. Hi, yeah, that is the daily quest wasting time. I wish I would have had that nitro, but oh well. So, we are now going to head to the northwest, and now that we have Uvulor, in the cutscene that I skipped, Yosef kind of stuffs Uvulor in his mouth, because Uvulor is a parasite of the mouth, and that is how we have Uvulor join our party. So he is canonically inside Yosef's mouth for the rest of the game. Don't talk about it. It is a thing that happens, like many other things in this game. Ooh, yeah, this is not a good spawn point for the northwest. So we're going to have to just navigate there as best we can. Please tell me there's a way across. Okay, here we are. There we go. I got stuck there. Like I said, you can gain and lose a lot of time in the overworld maps, just because it's all your control. But it's also like random where everything spawns. Oh, this is such a bad location. Oh no. So, anyways, Uvulor is Yosef's friend, and he told us where Yosef's other eye is, because again, we need Yosef's other eye to find a spaceship, to go to space, to save Horatio's son. And it's in Mount Olympus. But Jerkomedes has stolen the bridge to Mount Olympus. And we kind of need the bridge there in order to go to Mount Olympus. And Jerkomedes says, hey, he'll give us the bridge back if we bring him an orphan. Because this game is interesting. So we are going to do that right now. We're going to find and kidnap and deliver an orphan. Watch the top of this building. It is probably one of my favorite jokes in the entire game, and it only shows up for a split second right here. You cannot scroll back up to that once the map has started. And it's great. So it looks like we're going to get a 4 enemy spawn. That is the lowest amount, and that's kind of good, but also kind of bad. I'll explain why in a bit. But we are now going to get introduced to a lot of other enemy races. So far, we've mostly seen humans. There were a couple of kobolds, a cyclops, a gorgon, a couple octoclopses. But now there's a lot more. There's a mushroom, there's a robot, there's a hair troll. There are even more. I don't believe we see a single wraith, for example, in the entire main campaign. They just don't exist, which is great, because they debuff our units and that makes us less likely to kill people. And we like to kill people, because killing people is fast. But anyways, I am getting sidetracked. We are going to... the mushroom specifically is a helmet unit, even if it doesn't look like it. And so we will send our helmet smashers, including Helmetor, who has like a Giga Helmet Smasher. And we're just going to send them into just Unga Bunga this mushroom to death. Take out one enemy really quickly, and then we just have to worry about the rest. So you move here, you move here, you move here, you move here, go. That should be enough for the mushroom. Okay. And yeah, mushroom's dead. They do AoE poison damage. It's really annoying. I don't like it. And so I kill him very quickly. The next enemy that I really want to kill quickly is probably the robot, because the robot can chain lightning. This guy also has stuns. He's a human, not any special race, but he's also annoying. We don't actually want to kill Acrobat, the hair troll, and that'll be explained why. Well, I mean, I already said, I'm kidnapping an orphan. This orphan is the one I'm going to kidnap. Hair trolls have regenerative health, and so basically attacking him, unless you're going to do it with a large group, is kind of pointless. They also have more health on average than humans do, and so we're not going to actually fight him in order to kill him. We're just going to leave him alive and kidnap him instead. Okay, this is great. The robot got into a, I'm not going to say soft lock position. It got trapped.
Double kill, yes.
Okay, yeah, that went really, really well. All we need to do now is end the turn. And I did pick up the kidnap cage. Yes, I did. This is what we need the other kidnap cage for, is to kidnap an orphan because Jerkomedes wants an orphan. Conveniently, we also get this backup orphan. His name is Cornelius Happy Days. He is your lovable, plucky orphan who didn't just try to murder us. And so we'll deliver both of them to Jerkomedes. I'm sure he will be very happy with us and give us a bridge back, and nothing will go wrong, because I have totally not already said that all maps, or all chapters in this game have at least 2 maps, and we've only seen 1. But that was probably, I was just probably lying, right? Yeah, nothing bad is going to happen up here. Don't touch me, please. You can use your rocket to stun enemies. I'm going the wrong way. That would be very good to notice. Change. I'm also trying to get as much money as I can to buy more nitro. Because nitro go boom. And avoid that flag. That flag is the good ending to the quest. We don't care about that because that's slow. So, I love the speckled horse. My big butt makes big poops. Very good. Very, very PG-13 of you, speckled horse. You can actually poop on the overworld. It is a mechanic. It can help you find your way around. But I just don't do it because it requires me to press another button. And okay, we got a fairly bad spawn. But, most importantly, we got a fairy! And so this map has a very, very, very nice feature where you auto-kidnap someone at the end of it. And so we are going to auto-kidnap this fairy, because fairies happen to be the best DPS units in the game. And we will be abusing them heavily, especially throughout the end game fights, which make fairies even better somehow. Like, they just took one of the best DPS units and were like, yeah, but what if even better somehow? You'll see what I mean when it gets to that point. But, so in order to kidnap this fairy, we need to kill these 4 enemies, the 2 Cyclopses, the Spider, and the Archer. This enemy doesn't matter. This enemy has a special property that you can't kidnap, and so we won't be able to kidnap him, and so it doesn't matter. In the meantime, our best opportunity is just to hit these guys as best we can. I'm a little bit worried that Donner is not taking as much damage, but the Cyclopses can be very hard to kill just because they're tanks. But we'll be able to focus them down pretty nicely right here by these 3 bros. Well, these 2, the 2 that we don't want to kill, stand off to the side, not getting killed very conveniently. Oh, that was an amazing knockback from Helmator, because now these 2 can focus on Biku, while these 3 focus on Donner. Or Helmator will get knocked back, and that's really bad. Okay, so, yeah, plans change literally between turns in this game. It's great. You can never tell what's going to happen. You just have to react and think on your feet, kind of go with the flow of the RNG, and that's just the entire vibe of this speedrun. Okay, welcome to the gimmick of this map. That mascot, if it hits your units, it will turn them into orphans. Orphans basically don't exist. They can't attack, and they can't be attacked. They just are. And they'll unorphanize after 1 turn, but that 1 turn means we lose them for that turn. Oh my god, that knockback was really bad because I don't want to hit the fairy in case I kill it. So I am playing it safe, doing some things a little slow. It's probably going to work out in the end. So all we need to do is take out these 2 guys, right here. These 2 guys. And hopefully not get orphaned a bunch. If we take out the fairy, that is big sad. So again, hopefully that will not happen. I'm doing my best to avoid it. The odds of getting a fairy are really high. the first map of this chapter can have a fairy in it. That is pretty rare. I'd say it's probably in maybe 1 out of 10 runs that you won't get a fairy, that you will get a fairy in the first map. But it's also something like 1 out of 10 runs that you, or 9. Okay, I'm forgetting how numbers work, if I'm being honest, and that's not super good. So, in 1 out of 10 runs, you will get a fairy in the first map, and in 9 out of 10 runs, you will get a fairy in the second map. Those are mutual, so there is a little bit of space in between where you won't get a fairy in either map. There's a little bit of space in between where you will get a fairy in both maps. And those runs are got you. But the RNG isn't actually affected too much. You're guaranteed to get a Cyclops in this map, and like I mentioned with Helmetor, those guys also are buses, trucks, tanks, whatever we're going to call a big unit who hits hard. And so, if we kidnap a second Cyclops instead of a fairy here, you can still progress through the game relatively fast. In fact, I actually got my first world record with the 2 Cyclops strat. So, 2 Cyclopses can absolutely roll through the end game. Fairies are just better. And so, it's like 91% or something like that we get a fairy in some variety. But I'm out of nitro. This is very slow. So most runs will have a fairy, and even when they don't, it's not actually a super major time loss. So, all in all, pretty safe run in my opinion. The estimate that I'm going to give this is 130, which is honestly a little bit high. I have done not all 26 of the runs that you see in my sidebar, but like probably about 20 of them within the past month. And I did not get a single sub 130. Okay, where's my house? Where is it? There it is, okay. I was following the guide marker and kind of forgot where the guide marker was. We did not get moved there, which is bad. Because we have to make that exact same trek back to the top northwest corner. Which is sad. But what's happy is that we have a fairy. Fairies are busted. Give him a cool hat. There we go. That's a cool hat. And so, this, we're making the same trek, and the next map is really boring. My clicking is just slow today. I don't know. Usually you can buy the nitro a lot faster than I was just doing, but it's still faster than mash and click, because if you mash click, there's a cooldown. Okay, yikes. Yeah, we got all the way back. At least I have a boatload of nitro. And this is a one-way trip, so I can be a little bit hasty with my nitro, using it all early to just absolutely blast through this area. But okay, yeah, this is absolutely the best part of the run for just a massive block of donations, and you will see why in a sec. Oh my god, nitro makes the vehicle slightly difficult to control. Also, that's how you poop. I mentioned that last split. But this map is the first 2 maps of this 4-map chain are the only maps in the game with no RNG at all. And do you think I'd like them as a speedrunner? No, they're really boring. It is the same sequence of events every single time with no variation. There's basically no way to speed it up other than clicking fast, and that's like uber boring. So donations here, but in lieu of donations, this is probably a pretty good time for me to talk to you, the GDQ. Do you guys have a name and I just don't remember it? It's like the validation team or the games team or the games crew. You watching this right now, whatever your name is, we can talk some logistics. So this game obviously doesn't have a very big community. It is not a very popular speedrun game, partially because of the RNG, partially because of its genre. Turn-based tactics is just kind of as a speedrun genre. Like, it's one of my favorite genres of all time, which is why I still love even this. But, like, Fire Emblem as well, one of my favorite game series of all time, just isn't speedrun all that much. And I'm also comparing this especially to Castle Crashers and Pit People, Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater, which are the other games made by the Behemoth, which are amazing speed games. Battle Block Theater in particular, it was actually PJ and Nectaric's co-op run of Battle Block Theater at AGDQ that was one of the things that really got me into speedrunning. So, yeah, that's kind of the cool lore bit of my speedrunning career that ties into this game, at least. But I lost my train of thought. But no, yeah, this game doesn't have a ton of people. I am in the process of making a guide for this route that goes over all the little nitty-gritty details that I'll mention, also a bunch of nitty-gritty details that I won't mention. I didn't realize how hard it would be to write like a speedrunning guide until I started one, so it's still in the works, but I'm reasonably confident that I will finish it probably before like November, especially if I keep putting in the rate of work that I have been doing. So hopefully that'll be very easy for more people to get into this game, because I would love that. This game is, I think, criminally underrated, especially compared to Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater, both of which got a lot of love for the art style, the humor, the gameplay, and honestly, the Behemoth did a lot of the same stuff with this game. I love the humor, I love the gameplay. Look at this funky, this kooky, this weird art style. It's just, this game is great, and I want more people to play it. So there's that spiel for you. Hopefully maybe you'll play it, but if this does get on GDQ stage, hopefully that'll also incentivize more people to play it. Speaking of not a lot of people playing it, there probably isn't going to be much of a couch for this run. The Behemoth devs have come on for past GDQ runs, like the PJ and Mecharector run that I mentioned earlier, that got me into speedrunning, was a dev on the couch speedrun. And so that's like an absolute dream of mine to do. I don't know how well it would work for this game, because there is just a lot of just kind of waiting around like this. I am also a very talkative person, as you can't tell by the fact that I have been talking this entire time, pretty much non-stop. Sorry about that if you don't like my voice. It's my voice. But I like to talk. I know a lot about this game because I played a boatload of it, both casually and as a speedrun, and it's just a game I love. So I will be gushing about it. I will be talking all these little intricate details of it. Maybe I'll write up a better script, so that I don't have to as much when I'm But at the same time, I don't know. I do freeform talk a lot, even when I'm in my normal streams. I just kind of say what's on my mind. I'm pretty comfortable talking running, especially in a game like this, where sometimes there's not a lot of thought process that comes in. Sometimes it is just mash click to move forward. But like in this map, in the previous maps as well, there was at least a little bit. You do need to position fairly well. If you get caught by the security guards, the game will throw you back to the start, and that's bad. An example, for this movement, I can't move as far as possible, because I'll take a boatload of damage, and moving not as far as possible actually sets me up perfectly for the next section of this map. And this map doesn't have RNG except for the Hall Minotaur. This man, this lad right here, is a Cyclops-type character. And Cyclopses, if you haven't noticed by the several times it's happened, Cyclopses can knock characters back. So if he knocks me back, he did not. Good job, Hall Minotaur. If he knocks me back, it's maybe like, I don't know, at worst, like a 30-second time loss. But he didn't knock me back. That happened maybe 15 to 20% of the time, I think it is. No, it feels like it's less, honestly. Maybe I'm just lucky. I'm holding skip. There we go. I should also mention that if he knocks you back, you can lose the map. And you can lose pretty much any map in the game, even in a speedrun sense. But every map can just be restarted from the start. So even if we get completely RNG screwed, there is no hope of finishing the current map. You can just restart the map. That is not usually too big of a time loss, because as you can see, the maps are usually pretty small and self-condensed. The longer ones can go like 9 minutes, probably, once we get towards the end game. Like, still sub 10 minutes is pretty typical for a lot of the maps in this game. How many are there, probably? It's 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 15 maps in the, I can do quick math. 15 maps in the story mode that we complete, not counting the intro, because we skipped that. So, yeah, 15 maps in 120 minutes means that they absolutely, on average, take less than 10 minutes. And I can do that. But, yeah, even the longer ones will be sub 10 usually. We're going to run into a helmet. We're going to run into a helmet. Just kill someone, please. You get on the launch pad. Go. So, yeah, that is this map, or this game, while it is absolutely chock full of RNG and chaos and fun, it's not, in my opinion, all that inconsistent of a run. There are strategies to make inconsistent things more consistent. There are ways to come back from things that happen that are bad. And so, like, no matter what, this run is absolutely finishable. There will never be a state where the run is completely dead. And making it underestimate should be fairly possible in any single run that I have ever played in my life. But that's probably enough for logistics. I talked a little bit too long about that, and we are now into the next section of the map. I'm going to see if I can kill. You go do that. The next section of this map. Okay, we did not get a duplicate parachute, so there is a glitch where sometimes parachutes will just stay, and you can get infinite parachutes from one drop. The goal of this map, now that we have obtained Yosef's Eye in a cutscene, is to escape from this facility. If we didn't notice, it is Mount Olympus, it is in the air, and so the best way to get out is to jump through this giant hole in the floor with parachutes. And so we're going to get a bunch of parachutes for all of our units, and we're going to take them to space. No, we're going to take them and jump out this hole. That's what I just said. We're going to space soon, not now. But there are a lot of parachutes in this area, and that's really, really good. The enemy moved off it, so these two can both guaranteedly get a parachute here. This enemy and this enemy are both nearly dead. And every enemy drops a parachute is basically what is happening here. So we just, you go here, get a parachute, you murder that man, go. So we just keep dropping enemies, keep grabbing the parachutes. These two are the last two that need them. Pippi might die here, which would be not fun. So I'm going to try and back her off a bit to keep her more alive. Okay, we're getting blown around. That could shake things up. Okay, it definitely shook things up. That's suboptimal at best. You hit a person, you hit a person down. So Yosef is gonna... maybe I should just move... Yeah, I think moving him might even be faster than killing this guy. So we're gonna try and move him down. Oh god, Pippi, no! Pippi, no! Okay, we can just have him pick up her backpack. That's fine. Or her parachute. In the meantime, you two just keep murdering people. You finish off this guy and grab his parachute. Good job. Oh, yeah. And once we grab the last parachutes, we will jump through the thing, and nothing else will go wrong. Because nothing else ever goes wrong in this game, I promise. Grab it. No, in fact, I want you to grab it and hit him. I want you to do this, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, go. Ooh. Oh my god, you can see how much damage, how much DPS the Cyclops and Fairy put out, because they have basically taken out their entire side in the time that it's taken Horatio to take out his one enemy. They're just... Cyclopses and Fairies are just absolutely chads. I think Fairies especially. Look at that! We one-rounded Marshall with 4 units. Usually that's pretty consistent with 5 units, and usually you won't get it with 4. But we just one-rounded it with 5 units. That skips a turn, that skips a bunch of not a bunch, like it's 2 lines, but it's more dialogue than speedrunners usually want to see. So that map is done. I'm holding mouse click. I don't know why that's not registering, but there is Chapter 5 completed. Oh, I don't want to go in, I want to go out. There we go. So now, we have Yosef's Eye. If you remember the entire big chain of plot events that need to happen, Yosef's Eye will tell us where his spaceship is. And Yosef's Eye tells us that Jerkamedes has a spaceship. The guy who's been pulling pranks on us, stealing the ticket, stealing the bridge, demanding that we kidnap an orphan for him. He has a spaceship somehow. And so our goal now is to find Jerkamedes, convince him to help us somehow, even though he's been a jerk this entire time, and his name is even Jerkamedes. This is Prisoner's Mountain. I wonder if we'll come back here later. Spoilers, we will. And Jerkamedes is right now at the spa. So, this map is right after we had last chapter, which was like 3 stealth maps. This map is also a pseudo-stealth map. There are a bunch of vases that you'll see when the camera pans down eventually after this dialogue. If you stand in any of the spaces next to a vase, it will push it over and the map will stop being a stealth map and you will have to play a normal battle. And we don't want that because that means we have to do all this fighting. We have to, I don't know, do all this fighting. And fighting is slow. So instead, you can send all your units up if you want, like that is a strat, but we know how much of an absolute DPS unit is that the Fairy is, and I also made the Fairy my hero unit, which gives it more DPS and more movement, and I think more health and tank as well. So it has 4 movement and can absolutely yeet up here. And I am very specifically moving to dodge all of these vases, so I won't trigger the battle, and there we go. I have now made it. I have disturbed Jerkamedes, and he, because he's a jerk and a villain, he kills his minions, because, you know, what else is a villain going to do? And therefore we don't have to fight them. We do still have to fight him, which is why I do specifically send my Fairy up, because my Fairy has the DPS in order to finish him in potentially 2, well 2 is really, really rare. I've had it happen like once. But typically 3 hits is best for finishing this map quickly. Jerkamedes has a high chance to dodge. I jinxed it! There we go! So sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but doing this is still usually faster than sending your entire army up here. And you also see, you really can only attack him once per turn, like that. Because if you hit him with any damage at all, he teleports away. So you can get lucky if he teleports next to another unit of yours. That unit might also attack him. But you don't want to place a bunch of people around him because only one of them actually gets to hit him. And, well, we just send up our Fairy, highest DPS, to hit him hopefully 3 times. Maybe 4. Hopefully not 5. Oh, that's actually a bad level up, as we'll see in a sec. But again, there we go. He's bleeding, so he's going to end the map. So it just took 3 hits. And yeah, that is the Sunny Butts Day Spa. But Jerkamedes isn't over just yet. Like I said, every single chapter in the story mode, except for the Cupcake one, has at least 2 maps. And so we are going to now go into the second of those 2 maps, which is, in my opinion, probably the hardest map of the speed mode. It's getting close to the end games. They're ramping up the difficulty a little bit more, and there is just so much going on in this map that it can go south very, very quickly. Helmator absolutely can solo this map, just being the absolute giga tank he is, but we don't want that to happen. So we will be doing our best to keep the Fairy alive. You'll see why in just a sec, because there is an elemental typing, like Pokemon, in this game. And there is an element called electricity that fairies are weak to. Okay, that's 7. That is the maximum number. Okay. You can get as few as 4 robots here, but we got 7 because, oh boy, of course we did. This goes to show that the RNG in this game is RNG. It is definitely manageable, but you'll see the fairy is going to take bonus damage from this. Yeah, double damage from electricity for fairy. It is painful. And so we are going to do our absolute best to avoid it at all costs. Luckily, once we finish off a certain section of this map, the robots disappear, and we don't have to worry about fairy taking double damage. Oh, and getting stunned! The robots can stun! Oh, goody. Yeah, no, this is going just peachy keen. Luckily, that one is dead. This one is bleeding. Haircut Mackenzie. God, I love the names in this game. They're all so good. But the robots can also teleport, because of course they can. So yeah, we just try to play this as best as we can, given the chaos that's happening, and take out as many robots as quickly as we can. That should be enough to end, or at least to... No, it's not. Okay. I need to take out this one then too. I miscounted. Yeah, okay, there's still 4 left. I'm really hasty to get this section over with, if you can't tell, because boy, it's scary. It is scary in a speedrun to do this section. That is enough. Okay. No, it was 5 left, because there was 1 down here. Yep. That's okay. It is... You need to take out half rounded down in order to trigger this segment. And they're still robots. They will still be jerks. But I'm not going to send our fairy far up, actually. Ew. I was trying to move up this way at the start, but the robots really just cornered me. And I really am going to protect the fairy. Fairy is just so important that we need it to be able to help. And that's why that level up was bad. If the fairy doesn't level up before, that means it'll level up sometime in this map. Oh, it leveled up again. Okay, never mind. We're good. I was just joking. Because then that's a full heal on the fairy. It will basically survive this robot section then with full health or nearabouts to full health. And again, that's all you need. So, hooray. That was a really good level up there. And now all we need to do is destroy this, and we will move into the next segment. There are 3 segments to this battle, and the same thing happens in all 3. Jerkamides reveals his himself and his new group of enemies. You defeat some of them, and then he hides in a corner where you can't attack him, and you have to destroy his stuff instead. Well, he calls you names, and we skip the names because dialogue's slow. Okay, yeah, so here, 4 enemies. 4 enemies is the minimum you can get in a section, and that's good. Oh wait, there's 5. I missed the enemy down here so many times. But still, just getting fewer enemies is amazing, and you want it to happen every time. But, you know, RNG, this game. So we're going to just, again, play it where it lies. This is probably another time that can have some donations, because as complicated as this map is, it is really just the same section repeating 3 times. First time with robots, the second time with humans, and the third time with a lot of different races. So we just kind of keep adapting to whatever is going on. This time, luckily, I'm not getting body blocked by a bunch of stupid, dumb robots, so I'm able to move towards the next set of machines that I'm going to destroy. And that'll save some time when that section comes up in like 2 seconds. I do need to play a little bit smart sometimes. Put you here, you go. Okay,
double kill,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, triple kill. Yes.
Triple kill, yes.
I love the narrator. Will Stamper is just a god amongst men. And this is already on fire, so... yeah, no, this section is going way better than the last one. Which, booyah! I like it when things go better. That makes me happy. Now there's only 1 machine left, and we can all start moving downwards. But this last section, again, kind of the same, but there is a wrinkle added in that we're going to get trolled. Because this game is funny and has its puns, and puns are an amazing thing that everyone should donate with. And should be read during this run. But when I say get trolled, I mean actually get trolled, because trolls are an enemy type in the map, and Jerkaminis will spawn them randomly. It's not randomly; it's every 3 turns. So yes, you can predict them, but I want to kill you. I want to kill you. I want you two just keep you going. No, you don't go again. So. The new enemy type that we really have to think about in this map, or in this section, is these guys. Mascots. Or as I call them, explosivos. Because guess what they do when you destroy them? Pew! And they do something like 50 damage to everything around them. And so I really want to destroy them from range with the fairy while they're in the big bundle like this. That is the optimal way to play against explosivos. Oh, trolling time, here we go. So, I've got to play this one where it lies. So I'm kind of trying to bait them towards the bottom. I want to protect Joseph when I move to the room. There, it was better. So, yeah, we really need to take out one of those two, and we'll be pretty much golden to finish the chapter off. No one's died yet, which is really surprising, considering, you know, this is happening down here. But, you know, okay, there Yosef died. Yeah, trolling time only lasts for a single turn, so once we're out of it, we are out of it. And in the meantime, we can set up for, hopefully the fairy targets this. Perfect. That should
Double kill, yes.
blow him up exactly as planned. And again, that's why fairies are so good. They have massive damage from range. It is AoE, but hey, look. Now all we have to do to finish the map is destroy 4 machines, which I've already set up my characters nearby to. And since trolling time is every 3 turns, this is turn 1 without trolls. Next turn will be turn 2 without trolls, unless I miscounted. I miscounted! Ha! Okay, they're not going to get in my way. We're still good. We win. Game over. Good. Not game over. There's still one more chapter. But we do destroy this console. There we go. So this map honestly went really well, considering that there were 7 robots at the start. I protected my fairy well enough. Again, the tactics in this game is a lot more important because all the attacks are RNG. So just positioning your units in places, specific places, and in specific patterns can really save you a lot of time, like it did for me with having a fairy here. If you lose your fairy again, chapter is totally completable. Helmetor can solo it. He's that buff, but it is a lot more annoying. And a lot more slow. But we did it. We knocked off Jerkamides' hat. Jerkamides, how do you plural? Whatever. We knocked off his hat, and that actually made him a good guy. It turns out the hat was something mind control, something that made him evil, something. Whatever. And now that he's not evil, he doesn't have the hat on, he has decided that, hey, yeah, we can use this spaceship to go into space and fight a giant space bear in order to save our son, which was the entire goal of this entire run anyways. Nitro on back home, and we will start the final split, the final mission of this game. The bear. Yes, that one. Go save your son. And so, these maps are both incredibly chaotic. One of the hardest things, I think, for me to do and to learn, aside from the map movement, is positioning in these maps. There is so much going on, and your positioning is so critical to your success. Just having your fairy in the wrong place for like 1 turn can just absolutely waste like several more. It's potentially really bad like that. So learning that is going to be one of the big things for new runners, and something that I'm going to have to really think about when I lay out my guide. Get on it. Okay, you're stunned. Good. Okay, I'm going to nitro past you. Okay, we have 5 nitro left, and that means I don't want to use any more. I'm going to stun you. juking past enemies scares me every single time. Yeah, I have 5 nitro left, and that's exactly what I want. So yeah, this was a pretty... We got pretty unlucky with our map spawns and map movement pretty much throughout the entire game in this run. So we wasted quite a bit of time in the overworld. We even got into an extra fight, so I could show that off. That was totally not an accident. I totally did it on purpose, and I'm okay with it, I guess. So most runs will have map movement that goes at least slightly better than that. It could be slightly worse though, so yay! But yeah, this is the final map of, or the final chapter of the game, and 4 enemies. Yes. That star is our end goal, and so we don't have to kill any of the enemies specifically. In fact, you can just kind of ignore them, all of them. And so that's what we are going to do exactly. We unga bunga forward. And one of the gimmicks of this map in particular, this first map, is that there are NPCs that have joined us in this fight. They can help, especially this fairy, who again is a fairy. And look at all this fur. Fur is weak to fire type damage, and our fairies deal fire type damage. So just again, one more reason why fairies are absolutely goated in this run. And they also do AoE damage, and so if you can destroy multiple of these fur things in one shot, like these fairies have been doing, like the fairies are so good in this final chapter. They deal effective AoE damage to the only hazard that actually prevents us from getting to the end. Not the enemies, the fur. And so, yep, the entire goal of this map is for me to just get my fairy up to the star as fast as possible. And I am going to get body blocked. Okay. The enemies can move through the fur, but I cannot, which is annoying. So we just deal with that as we will. In this map especially, we just kind of let the AI do its thing and fight whatever enemies it wants to fight while my units unga bunga forward. And sometimes, again, they can be really helpful, and this fairy can attack fur a bunch and clear the path up here, and sometimes they just don't. But there are also the explosive bombs that come out of the fur that you're seeing. Those deal something like 50 damage if they explode on you. It's ridiculous, but the AI also avoids them. And so you saw this is a bomb here, the AI is just going to ignore it, and that leaves me enough space to, hey look, just YOLO my fairy right through. Perfect. And so the bombs will also help clear the fur. It just takes like 1 turn longer than, say, smiting it with your fairy would do, because you have to wait a turn for them to explode like that. And the AI right now isn't being all, oh my god, I'm gonna get body blocked again. No, I'm not. Okay, I can still move through this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can move like up to here, But yeah, what are these two doing? What are these two doing? Guys, come on, help. So, yep, just RNG things. We play it where it lies, Squidward. Where's Joseph? Joseph, over here. Go. You just can't control them. You live with their mistakes. And boy, do they often make mistakes. But the fairy's moving forward, and hopefully these AI will start being distracted by Helmetor. Helmetor makes a great distraction because he's slow. Oh no, okay, all 3 of them are coming up here. That's not good. Fairy's actually starting to take a bit of damage. Fairy is also uber fast and can run away from it. No, don't step on a bear trap, that's actually bad. Bear traps hurt. Bear traps hurt. Spoilers. If you've never touched a bear trap before. But it's the fairy having 4 movement because it's a hero unit means it will at least evade this guy. And okay, so now we're starting to get into our probability calculations. The fairy has a range of 2, and so everything within 2 range of where the fairy lies is part of its attack chance. And so we want to attack the star, and therefore we want to give it the highest attack chance possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the only place where it actually has attack chance for right now. So that's where it's just going to go. But everyone else is starting to move up to help, and even though the fairy is bleeding, attacking the star slightly heals your units. And so when there are only a couple enemies left on the chase, that can basically save your units from death. And it's great. So now that the fairy's up there, we could end pretty much any time. Okay, maybe not soon because, like, look, the star still has a lot of health, and I think this is usually one of the best spots for it. For the fairy to go, you move out, go, good. Fairy here has a 1 in 3 chance of attacking it. Yeah, there we go. So we're starting to deal damage on the star. And once the star is... Oh, that's a bomb. Okay. That's kind of a bad bomb. It blocks my progress. It's going to make the AI move, but it might make the AI move towards the fairy. Yes, it does. Okay. The fairy doesn't have a chance to attack it, at least. But the fairy is now stuck there. And that is worrisome. Because if the fairy doesn't finish fast enough, then we just lose. I mean, we don't just lose. You can absolutely finish without a fairy. Again, my world record run actually had 2 Cyclopses and no fairy at all for the entire endgame. But, oh, thank God. Good heals, fairy. Good job. And so, I think pretty much next turn we should be able to finish at this spot now. If the AI moves out of it. Moves, like, here or something. I don't know. Oh, he didn't move. What a jerk. Oh, no, this... Okay, Fire Destroy this for... This is a 100% chance to hit the star. And I can move Horatio up to give him a decent chance to hit the star. I can move her up to, I don't know, hit him in the face. Go. So if we finish up the star here, get the fairy and Horatio. Horatio. Yes! Good job! Okay, we finish up the star. That is map 1 of the final 2 maps. In the second map, we do not have the RNG ally units. More like trolls who just waste my time. But there are a couple of other things that will help us move through, specifically lawnmowers. So we'll see those fire in just a sec. This is another thing that, as a new runner, you probably ought to just memorize. I managed to get this pretty quickly, I think, in that it's just centered on this spot. So this line and this line, the lawnmowers run down, and you'll see me avoid those lines like the plague. You move here, you move here, you move here. Fairy goes as far forward as possible. You get the hand to touch you. That's fine. So since we don't have the AI behind us, we're not really going to be having a backline. Kind of at all. Okay, the fairy can't move up all the way this turn. Did it get stunned actually? No, it didn't. Yeah. That is a good spot. Yes, that is go. Yeah, I am routing all of this around my knowledge of the lawnmowers, the way they're going to go, because they clear paths very, very well. That's a bomb. That's a bad bomb. That's a very bad bomb. Shoot. That's the worst bomb I could get, actually. Okay, so we're just going to play it where it lies. Squidward, we're going to move there. We're going to move you into a throwing position. You hit, let's go. So, turn 3 is usually the turn when the lawnmowers start. That's another bomb? Why? What? Why? Anyway, okay. This Cyclops and human are getting knocked back, which will help clear the path forward for the fairy. Perfect. And so when those lawnmowers trigger, the paths are opened. Again, they're 1 wide, so they can get blocked off by enemies. You can get body blocked. But this one is pretty much entirely open, and the fairy has 4 movement, can move through the bomb range safely. And so Joseph up to help her. You guys just kind of vibe here, I guess. That's fine. Do another bomb! We are getting so many early bombs. Like, what the hell? Is it every hair? It's random. It's random, but like, some of these are decent actually because they're going to keep the enemies from approaching. But at the same time, wow, what the hell? RNG, why you like this? Oh, Pippi might be in big pain trouble. We'll play where it lies, Squidward. Play it where it lies. That is definitely the motto of this game. You just kind of got to roll with punches sometimes. That's like 50 damage. So yeah, we don't want to take that. Whatever. He's going to eat the bear chop. At this point, I just kind of wanted to have these 3 tanking. Because the fairy can finish the map solo with decent amount of luck. And so, RNG just take the wheel, because this is the final boss of the game that, again, we're actually targeting the star in the fur, so we don't need to kill the final boss, and therefore we ignore it. This is a troll mama, or a big mama, as I call them, and they are ridiculously weak to fairies. They're weak to fire and AoE, and so fairies have a fire AoE attack. Like, fairies melt these guys. which is just by far the best DPS unit in the game, and the best unit for the endgame chapters specifically. But since we're ignoring it, the fairy's going to just fly over here and work on this other patch of fire weak, AoE weak, not enemies, but terrain. Yeah, terrain, that's what it is. So we're gonna be there, we're gonna be there. And then this gang can finally come up and help. Well, Helmator tanks 7 enemies, because he is a truck. Whoa! What was that look? We just one-turned it. You just have to hit the bomb. That's it. That is it. I need to do a little bit more movement. I will call time. There is some nitro and some dialogue. But yeah, all you have to do is hit the bomb once. And the fairy did that with its AoE on turn 1 of being near it. That's ridiculously awesome. Like, holy carp. Oh my god. Yeah, so basically how the story wraps up is we explode the bear's stars, which are its nipples, and the bear gets really mad and like claws at its chest and kills all of our friends, and then Horatio is the only one alive. He sees a speckled horse floating in the distance, which is this right here, this giraffe. It's not a giraffe, it's a speckled horse. Don't listen to what the media tells you or something.
Because there's like a billion pieces of my best
and the speckled horse actually gives us a wish, and we wish 4 times total. So this is the intro that we skipped way back at the start of the run. And instead of doing all of it, we are again skipping it. And time is when I enter the city in 3, 2, 1, time. Yeah, sub 120. Okay, yep. So I'm still going to put 130 as my estimate, because theoretically things can go very wrong. You can even lose whole maps and have to redo them, which can add, again, like less than 10 minutes usually, but some amount of time to the timer. That's a nebulous amount of time. But yeah, this run had pretty much every run will have good RNG and bad RNG, and it balances out basically every time. Like a world record run would have more good RNG, and a 25+ minute run would have bad RNG, but like it's a bell curve. I don't know why I'm describing a bell curve. I just need to say the words bell curve. So yes, that is Pit People any percent submission for GDQ for specifically AGDQ 2023. My name has been Turtle. I'm gonna go take a big drink of water because hydration is important, and I have been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. Probably longer because I talked a little bit in the intro too, and I'm still talking after the time has stopped. Thank you for watching. Bless RNG, and I hope to see you not at GDQ because it's online. I hope to be in a Discord and stream my stream to you very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye. Oh, and if there's anything you need, you can like to ask me, you can just DM me on Discord. I'm TurtleGuy2412 pound 1170. I'm in the Ori speedrunning Discord because that is kind of like my main game, and I don't have Twitter or Facebook or anything because I don't like social media. DM me on SRZ, that works too. I don't know, any other things that you might need to know, totally ask, and I'll be willing to give. And yeah, I guess that's the whole spiel. I wonder if the mic just caught my stomach. I haven't eaten anything since this morning, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go drink water, eat food. Thank you for watching. Hope to talk to you in a Discord and stream this game for a lot of people soon. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.